This poem is about people. This poem is about sacred relationship. Let's get it.
This is the peace that keeps me radical, 'cause otherwise I might forget.
Because when you're chilling in New York for a little while, you get into that hanging out, doing you, first world mindset.
And so I spit. I spit to slap me with the fact that every time I pay a tax, I help this government murder innocent people in Iraq. I spit to kick my ass back to the broken down shack in the slums outside of Quito, Ecuador, where my cousin is doing crack. I'm inviting y'all to bring your people to this moment. I'm just thinking of all the people who have made us who we are. Whew. I spit to slap me with the fact that every time I pay a tax to help this government murder innocent people in Iraq, and there is nothing liberal or conservative about that. So take me back to
West African villages where poverty pillages my boy like Al Mustafa, who I know is still living in utter desperation. Because these are the people and places that should shape my political view, not Fox or CNN, the New York Post or Daily News. Nah.
I use reality to keep my politics in order. And if I feel a little moderate, I'll spit this trip down to the border, where over 1,500 of our people have made their graves in the last 3 years.
I keep it radical for each of them and all our family's tears. And if it appears that to be radical is too intense for me to fit in, well, that is all the more reason for me to stand here spitting the peace that keeps me radical.
Because it's the same peace being demanded by the prisoners of Guantanamo. It's the peace Native Americans deserved when they fought alongside Geronimo. This is the piece of skin torn from her limb, my mother's limb when Lebanon was bombed, and the piece of porcelain that reminds her children of her, now that she is gone.
This is a piece of Muslim prayer calls and the piece of Christian psalms. It's the last piece of bread before the famine stole the whole crop. It's a little piece of genius that my boys keep hidden under hoods, and this piece is to remind me it ain't always easy to be good. And we should be proactive like families hustle in the hood, because always keep it moving, because doing nothing is not peace.
Forget slamming for a score. This is our only way to breathe. Because art is more than my release when my commander-in-chief is a slanderous thief, and I'm standing neck deep in the blood of my peeps, and I can't keep my head above water much longer. I spit for the dead, and I said in their honor, forgive me and give me the peace to be stronger.
And this is what they left. They left this breath in my lungs to be sung. When people are being murdered and poets are silenced by the state, I spit this piece to conquer hate. In streets and then in courtrooms, I will yell it in my son till they throw me in the hole. And covered by their darkness, I will hold this piece of light that I've seen in children's eyes that reminds me why we fight.
And from right here, we'll spit the depth of it. Our tears cry beside the desolate. And there ain't no amount of hours and no governmental powers that'll sicken me with mediocrity or turn me to a coward. Cause radical means rebuilding all the peace that they've devoured. And just in case you didn't hear us, let us spit it louder.
I want peace from the Bronx to Baghdad to Sierra Leone. Peace for every man, woman, and child without a home. I want peace in Bolivia, Mexico, y Ecuador. Peace built on policies to stop keeping my people poor.
I want peace on my block between us and the police. I want peace between America and the entire Middle East. I want peace so bad, but I need to want it more. I need to want it more than these weapons companies want war.
And if you look, you will see that in my eyes. They are bloodshot red because real men are not afraid to cry.
And I am not afraid to say that I believe peace is possible. But that shit is radical, my people. And radical means to...
And if we have the courage to admit it, the root of peace is me and you. Remember, life should not be easy for any.
While life is this hard for this many. So if I ever
lose my radical point of view,
spit this piece to wake me up, and I promise
I'll come back to you.
Thank you, family.